when moving into G6, the biggest question you've got to ask yourself is, what ship do I actually need? Besides the Selkie for mining, is it really going to be a G5 Epic starship? Yes, absolutely. Tier 10 or higher, if you've got it maxed, would be a lot better. But do you really need that G6 uncommon? Arguably not exactly one of the best areas of ships in the game, but is it still going to bring you some value to the game? Well, hopefully by the time we get to the end of this video, we're actually going to see that, because we are going to build one on video, and I'm going to see how far I can take it. I have enough to go tier 6, but can I get to tier 6? That's going to be another story because of the speed ups problem. So let's answer the main question: is why do you need a G6 uncommon? Well, most notably, the first one is going to be this thing. It's going to be your Borg cube. You need it really to tier up. Now, I'm still under the impression that maybe you could skip the uncommons and still be able to get the passes once you get the G6 rare, because you're going to need it for this. And as you'll see, it tells you you're going to need a tier 9 Minerva, Negva, or Akira. So, but do you really need it? Well, I've heard yes, you will still need it. But I don't know. Maybe someone else can correct me. Did you skip the G6 uncommon and go to the rare and still be able to do it? I don't know. But it's an interesting question, that one. But leave your comments on that one in the comment section down below. But another thing as well is also going to be warp range, because your G5 Epic is actually limited on how far it can go. Now, granted, you can see I've got Grush here to make my ship go further, and as you can see by the warp range on the far side there, it's 1342. Well, if I took Grush off, it's only around 1100. It's not going to get me very far. And in fact, to be perfectly frank, how far will the G5 Epic go when it's maxed? And bearing in mind, there is a lot of research as well. No, it's not going to be this 65 system. The furthest I can go with my G5 Epic, believe it or not, is a 63 system. This is as far as I can literally go. I can't go to the 64s because they are of a lower warp range, and I have got one. So if we have a look at this 64 here, it's 1200. My G5 Epic will not reach it, but the Akira can with its warp range. But even my Borg cube here, 1156, is roughly around the same as the G5 Epic. But there is another way to get there. Well, that's going to be using Discovery. As you can see at the minute, it's 1155. I put warp range crew on that one, and I can get further. But as you can see, my Enterprise is here at the 65 system, which initially is a 1250 system. Now, if I look about how far this ship can actually take me, it can take me to the 66 here, 66 there, but it can't get to the 67 because it's still short by about 58 warp range. But that's with Grush on the ship, and that's a maxed out Grush. Now, there is a piece of research which you can use for Discovery should you want to, and that's in the Starships tree. And it's that one with the gold around it, Prime Discovery Warp Range. Now, you see, I need Op 65 before I can go, but the next one is going to give me a little boost of around about 200. Hang on, that's not quite 270 is going to give me a boost range. So that's going to get my Discovery a little bit further. And then when I've maxed it out, it's going to give me an extra, what, 252 to actually go on top of that one. But it's not ultimately going to get me all the way. Yes, you've got your NX-01, again with a warp range crew. She can actually get quite far out into G6 space. But ultimately, the warp range of the Akira, when it's maxed out, and we've got a screenshot here of its warp ranges at the various tiers, and these are all base levels and does not include any research or any boosting officers. So as you can see, a tier 6 will get you quite far, but can you get to tier 6? Because it's not going to be, well, it's cheap-ish, but it's not going to be that cheap in retrospective of various other things. Like Speed ups, because remember, the G6 Sigma speed ups are such a rare commodity. You need them for building upgrades, you need them for research upgrades, you need them for tearing up your ships. Yeah, you need them for construction of your ships. So they're actually in such high demand. I'm hoping by the end of this video, by the time I actually build it, I've got enough speed ups to actually commission the Akira, let alone tear the damn thing up, because it will be the Akira that we're going to be building. Next thing is going to be the hazards as well, the hazard ability that the G6 Uncommons come with. They've all got their a base standard, and the Akira that we're going to be building is got Ion. So if we can just find the Akira in the list, I'm probably not even far enough. That's a GS31. Oh bloody hell, it's G4. So we're nowhere near. That's a Titan. Oh, the Akira was just next to it. So let's go back and go for the Akira. So here's the Akira, and as you can see, hazard resistance, flat 15%. The Negvar's also got a hazard resistance, I think it's Asteroid, and the Minerva has also got radiation. So you've got those, but the one thing is that only specific to the type of ships. Now that ability will top out at 150% once you get this thing to level 75, which is tier 15. Yes, it's a 15 tiers. As you can see, I've got 130 blueprints, so I have actually got enough credits to actually buy the rest, but we'll talk about sourcing in just a moment. But like I said, there are some researches in the G6 region of the combat tree, because it's the only area that's actually got G6 research. And if you scroll right through, so I do apologise for my hand flying over the screen. Oh, hello. I shouldn't put that down there. Here we go. Is these ones. So the grayed out here, you've got the Krishna, the New Granger, and the Divati. So that's the ships Klingon, Federation, and Romulan. But they are obviously the miners and their hazard resistance. Here it is. This is the one that we want, is the Federation Ion Storm Protection. As you can see, you need the Akira at tier 1 just to unlock this, and it's going to give you an extra 15% against Ion Storms for Federation ships. Romulans have obviously got the radiation, but you're going to need the Minerva, and then again the Klingons have got the Asteroid. But are you going to need all three? Well, to be perfectly frank, right, that's faction specific. So it's up to you. It's not. It does, as you can see here, it says for Klingon ships. It's only going to be for the Klingon ships. It would be if you decide to go for a different faction for the Rares and the different faction again for the Epics. Then yeah, it's going to be beneficial down the line. But again, you still need to build the G6 Uncommon just to actually do it. So basically just filling up your shipyard for absolutely no reason unless you actually going after this. Me, I'm going pure Federation line in G6. I'm going for the Akira, the Titan, and then the Enterprise E. All cannon starships. Yes, I can get the Negvar as well because that's a cannon ship. I could get the the Scimitar again because that's a cannon ship. All the other ships are not cannon. They absolutely mean nothing to me. I do want the ships, but am I prepared to invest all that time and effort into them? I don't know. Because the one thing is, as well as we're going into the cost of building these things, as you can see, as you saw earlier, it's 150 blueprints to actually build these things. So how much are the blueprints? Well, realistically, I've not even pulled this section, so let's just actually quickly do this. I'll do the rest later on. Just going to completely throw them out of whack, but hey-ho. Who cares? Not me. So, here we go. So, as you can see, I've got the Akira here. I'm just going to click this message exchange because I'm going to need that. Have I got a hull boost for it available? No, I haven't. So, getting that hull plating as well for your G6 Uncommon would be advantageous because it gives you that extra hull health as well. But jumping into the ship, they're all the same when it comes to cost. 12,000 a blueprint or 120,000 for every 10 blueprints. 1.8 million faction credits just to build one of these. So yeah, 1.8 million to do this. Now you do have the sourcing in the away team store, but realistically, we'll call it up, but It's not one thing I would advocate for. If you want to, you're very hot on your priority 1 away missions, because that's what it's going to cost you, is the priority tokens. You can go in here and purchase them in here. 560 for one, 22-hour cooldown timer. But again, scaling up for 3 is not particularly cheap. It's very expensive. So yeah, you could look at this path, 150 days. Can you get these every day? Well, no. The uncommon only pays out a maximum of 1,000 unless you can get it over that 100%. So realistically, you're not guaranteed to actually be able to do this every single day unless you've unlocked the extra away priority 1 away teams and further than that. But yeah, I really wouldn't think about this one unless you really want to speed it up just that fraction and blow some of them. But then again, if you've completed the away teams research tree, including the priority 1 section, all the new stuff that came out with priority 1, hell, you're going to have some of these priority about Pioneer, what are they called again? Pioneer's Crest. That's one. You're going to have a load of them left over, so you might want to consider it. But again, it's not something I would generally consider. It's cheaper and faster through the faction credits because you can source them. I can source minimum 20,000 a day. I'm sure I could do a lot more if I did certain other things, but away teams don't always work with me on that one. But anyway, so what is the total cost to send this all the way up then? So this is the total cost of the Akira. As you can see, quite a bit of materials. Have I written it down? No, I didn't write it down on my sheet, so which means I can't see what it is, but there it is on the screen for you to actually look at and say, yeah, really? I don't know why I've actually gone into here, but anyway, but we can look at, yeah, actually there's not much else to look at, and it's not a specialty ship, is it? So anyway, now, for me, for doing this, I started at Op 61, which is when you first enter G6, and I just started building up the materials and everything. Use Spock's Club as well. Check what I need in terms of research and artifacts and favors and everything else, just to make things cheaper. So that's how I know right now I can actually build it and go to T6 if I've got the speed ups. But I guarantee I've not got the speed ups to actually do it. I'm hoping I've got enough to build it. But get it as high as you can possibly go. That would be the main thing. So let's get these last 20 blueprints. So we'll use the slider for this one because it'll make it easier. Oh my god, I can't even target it correctly. There we go. 240,000. I was intending on building this and doing this video about 4 days before I've actually recorded it. But I thought, I've got no speed up because I've just blown the damn things on research since I went 63. Since I went R&D 63, sorry. Yeah. Totally forgot that I'm going to need them to tear this thing up. So that's my own stupid fault. Now, I know you can go farm in Mirror Universe for the 15-hour speed ups. The last few times I tried, I didn't get any. And it was like, what is the flipping point of me grinding my ass off for half an hour to get none? That's a very bad RNG. So I just don't bother. There are other sources of getting the speed ups, and I can pull one of them right now, to be perfectly honest. Jumping in here. So we'll get that one. Again, this is a faction that I've got maxed out. 30-minute speed up. And this is one reason why we say there's the rare. Now, there is an artifact, the Embegger Storybook. You can get that, so you can get a daily drop. It's not an awful lot that you'll get dropped, but hey-ho, it's right there. Now, for faction credits as well, should you really want to, go in here if you've got the credits to actually pull that. Guaranteed full. This is a tier 3 relativity. I've not worked on it. I've got no interest in upgrading it anytime soon. So it's like I'm trying to build the credits up, but at the same time doing stuff in here so I can actually start getting all these favors. But that's that. So you do need to be renowned to actually in faction reputation as well to be able to get access to the ships. But anyway, so now we've got the blueprints ready. Let's get in and build it, and then we'll see how bad it's going to be. So it's a day. I'm not even convinced I've got that. That's going to be really awkward if I've not got the speed ups to do it. So let's get the help in. There's a day. Yes, I've got just enough. I've actually got enough to tear it up. But what we'll do is while I go through everything else, let's wait for the helps to come in on that one. So what are the firing patterns for these three ships? Well, here they are. And to be honest, they're rather interesting when you actually look at them. The Minerva itself has got a great frontal volley of 6 shots in the first round. But then when it comes to the second round, there's nothing. And this is on a 7-round rotation. So you've got 6, nothing, 4, 2, 4, nothing, 6. So it's like, yeah, okay. So that's a kind of an interesting firing pattern. Then you've got the Negva with 3 shots to begin with. Then it's got 4, 3, 2, 5, 2, 1. Sorry, 3, and then a 4. And that's just following that pattern along the line. It's a rather weird pattern. It takes longer to go through. But the Akira, from my opinion, has a slightly better firing pattern. It's not got a great opening salvo with 4 shots compared to the Minerva. But it's an interceptor. The Minerva's an explorer, so this has got the upper hand over the Minerva. But then the second round is 6 shots, whereas the Minerva has none. So for the first 2 rounds, 10 shots for the Akira over the Minerva 6. And then it's 4 and 4, and then it's back to 6 again for the Akira. It still outbeats the Minerva in firing patterns. It outbeats the Negva in firing patterns. Sorry, I stand corrected. The Minerva is actually an explorer. So explorers work better against the interceptors. This thing works better against the Negva. But hello, it's still a case of, I think, my personal opinion, this has got the better firing pattern. But again, correct me if you think I'm wrong in the comment section down below. So, but I mean, that's it. Yeah. There's not much else you can say about the G6s. Are they needed? Yes. You are going to need them with the warp ranges. I mean, if we actually just call that Akira up again, and remember, I've already showed you the warp ranges for this thing. But like this one out of the dock is 1269. Out of the dock. That's better than my Enterprise already. So for warp range, yes. And then what we'll do is we'll have a look. Now, I have heard it said that these things are not much cop until they get to around about Tier 6 to compare to the G5 Epic, but they really come into their own around about Tier 9 apparently. That's what I've heard. I've not tested it, so I can't say for sure. So no, I only want 3. I'm not spending Latinum because Sigma Latinum is bloody expensive, and we'll just do that. So here we go then, launching the Akira. Yes, I have now my first G6 uncommon ship. Woohoo! A new ship. I've only just commissioned the Reliant, and the Reliant's now Tier 2. And I'm enjoying the Reliant because it's brilliant. Now, I've got to admit, I do like this thing, and from what I know of Star Trek lore about these things, these are a torpedo boat. If anyone plays Bridge Commander, that torpedo turret at the back there is bloody awesome. So let's get this in a dock and let's have a look at some of the basics. So what we'll do is we'll replace the cube on this one. I haven't got a standard PvE crew because, well, straight out the dock, 3 billion. So 2.5 billion. Okay, 2.5 billion out of the dock. So let's compare this to the Enterprise, currently at 2.8 billion, and this is out at the minute. It's not out, it's not in dock. So if I took it out of dock, I'm sure it'll be a lot less. So scrolling down to some of the interesting stuff. So again, 1269, like I said, that's what it is out of the dock for me. But the one thing is I'm going to be able to upgrade this. So how far can I take it? Well, I really do not know. So if we just get this one done, obviously if you want to see the costings and everything that I have based on my research, pause it and you'll be able to actually quickly jot them down. If not, head on over to Spox Club. Do not forget to link your account first, which you can do via mobile app. I should really actually think about doing a video on that. Sync it up, upload all your information so it can give you the best advice possible. But the one thing is with Spox Club, yeah, I've not figured out how to transfer battle logs. So here we go then. That's tier 1 complete. So as you can see, 1.6 million Latinum to actually tear it up. So speed up. So what we're going to do is I'll see if I've got enough to actually do it. 22. So let's enter 22 for that one. That way I don't risk spending any Latinum. Down to 19 hours. So what have I got here? I've got 20 of these. And then I've got enough to do that with that. So here we go to tier 2, and the warp range now for this thing is 1286. Not particularly that big, is it? But there you go, 1303. So I'm going to be able to send this ship further and further out, as I keep saying. So how far up can I go? As you can see, the uncommon parts have already come into this. Rare parts will be coming in at tier 6 as well. So watch out for that one. When you in fact, I think they come in at tier 5. So again, tiering up 3.2 for 2 days. Yeah, I'm not going to have the speed ups to do that one. So we'll put it in tier up, and so we scroll down there, so we've got 910 available there. So, here we go. Just cleared that one off. So that's tier 2 cleared off. So let's get the tier 4 components in play. As far as I can go. Now, the one thing as well that you're going to find a bit of an issue with this one, in comparison to the G5 ships, is the number of slots below deck. There are 7 slots below deck, which we'll have a look at in just a moment. As you can see, I am leaving it level 1, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this out grinding to get those 15 levels, rather than doing it that way. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this one. If I could do it, I'll be lucky. So how many of them? We've got 286 left of them. So let's get that in. So that's 23 hours. And then, yeah, I need too many of them. So let's type in, was it 30? Oh, I didn't catch. 1359. 1359. 22 hours. Okay, so that leaves me a day and 16 hours left to find. Okay, so I was going to leave that there. I don't need the Reliant for a while, because this is the crew I'm using for the Reliant at the minute. But I've just realised that's going to stop me from being able to show you the officer slots below deck. But like I said, there is 7 slots below deck. So just watch out for that one. Now, there is one more thing I want to throw in quickly, and that's a refit. A skin, actually, which, in all honesty, makes this thing look beautiful. It makes it look a hell of a lot better. But as you can see, it increases base hazard resistance by 50%. This is all hazards. If it's a hazard, this thing will happen. So you'll have that automatic 50% boost. But it is paywall locked. Sorry, but no questions about it. It's beautiful. I've got to admit, I do love this design for the Akira. And what I'll do is I'll just show you the other two as well. I'm sure you can see it in your armory, but again, even the Negvar looks pretty nice. I won't say it's as gorgeous as the Akira ones, but I think the best one, actually, surprise, surprise, is actually the Minerva. I do think this one's the best one out of the three of them. Just looks so sleek. Just so sleek. But hey-ho. But that's my personal opinion, so disagree with me if you want to. But anyway, that's a G6 Uncommons. So to basically answer the question, yes, you do actually need a G6 Uncommon. Because you're going to need it for the Warp range. It may not be as great a combat ship as your G5 Epic, but it's going to get you the range. It's going to get you out there, which means you can find other places. And then it's going to be like the same question when it comes to the miners. Selkie or Faction Miner? Well, early G6, you've got no choice. It's the Selkie, end off. When you get to 68, do you want to get a Faction Miner? Well, it will help you mine those deeper areas, but it's entirely your discretion. Bearing in mind, it's going to cost you faction credits, which you'll need for your Epic. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But until then, thank you for joining me in this dive on the G6 Uncommon. Let me know what you've gone for. You know where the comments is. Don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But until next time, I'm Admiral Pegasus. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next video. Goodbye.